In this video, I'm going to show you how to do continental knitting with 2 strands where both yarns are being fed from the left. Some people do continental knitting and they feed one yarn from the left, that would be the dominant yarn, in this case the light yarn, and then the second yarn from the right, and in that case we have 2 different tensions on 2 different hands. If you can feed them both from the left, then you can control them both with one hand, and that leaves the other hand free for answering the phone, drinking a cappuccino, whatever it is you want to do, because you only have to manage the tension on this one hand. Now, you may have seen some knitters who will place both of the yarns on top of their index finger, and then they pick the yarn that they want, but the yarns are kind of close together, and I found this kind of difficult to do. So I've developed a method that's a little bit different that creates some separation between the yarns. It all starts with the way you feed the yarn through your hand, your left hand. I've actually tried feeding each yarn separately and wrapping it separately, and I don't really think it makes a difference in the way things actually develop with the knitting. So I've decided the best thing is to do is just wrap both yarns at the same time. And here's how I do it. Take the yarn and place it between your pinky and your ring finger. And then wrap it around your pinky, going away from you. Take both of the yarns up over the ring finger, below the middle finger, and then this is where things get really important. The yarns have to separate at the index finger. So I'm going to take the non-dominant yarn, in this case the gold yarn, and put it on top of my index finger. Then I'm going to take the dominant yarn and wrap it around my index finger, like that. And now I have the dominant yarn above, the non-dominant yarn above, the dominant yarn below. And I'm going to kind of tighten this up a little bit to get ready to knit. But as you can see, they're both coming off the index finger, and there is some space between the 2 yarns. I would say maybe as much as a ½ an inch where they come off of my finger. It's basically the thickness of my index finger. And the yarns have similar tension, so you can just kind of see that I'm pulling those away, and I'm going to tighten them back up. Now, I will say that since you're using one hand and essentially, for the most part, one finger or at least maybe several fingers on the same hand, obviously, to tension 2 yarns, it works best if you're working stitches that are divided evenly between the 2 colors. If you get into a situation where you have, let's say, 8 gold stitches and 2 white stitches, the white yarn is going to develop or can develop some slack based on the fact that it's not getting used as much. There are some ways to work that, and I do think having both yarns coming off the left hand is worth a little bit of adjustment. And here's how I do this. In this pattern that I'm working, I'm going to need 2 white and then a golden white, and 2 gold. So that's where we're going to pick it up. The white, as you can see, is my dominant color, and it's below. And it's a little further away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to place it into the stitch, go below the upper yarn, which is the non-dominant yarn. And then I'm going to pull my finger towards me just a little bit, so that I can pull this yarn and wrap it. And now I have it, and I'll push it off. I need one more. Because the yarn's a little further away, I pull my finger, I let the needle wrap the yarn, and then I release it. 2 golds, 2 whites. Now I need a gold and a white and a gold and a white. So for the gold, it's right here. Gold, white, pull the finger a little bit to get the yarn, gold, and white. It's very easy to do because there's a lot of separation between those 2 yarns. And you can actually get going pretty quickly like this. So I'll do 2 gold, 2 white, a gold and a white twice. It looks like there's something wrong with this stitch right here, so I won't work it. In any case, it works out pretty well. Now, there isn't really any additional slack. One thing that's nice about this particular pattern is that each round has the same number of stitches in each color. So we really don't get into a situation where we're developing too much slack. But if you do develop some slack in one yarn, you can just pull on that yarn and decrease that slack. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to deal with floats, and there is a nice way of doing it using this method.